Hello, welcome back to Ubrink Studio. My name is Anita O'Neill and this is my studio, which is looking a bit of a mess at the back behind me, but that's because I have been a bit busy making lots of things. Today I'm going to show you how to make these lovely no-sew Christmas baubles. They involve lots of little squares of fabric, a polystyrene ball, some of the smallest pins in the world, and some glue, and also one of these to hang your bauble with, and of course we need to have some ribbon. So I have two lots of ribbon here. This is a nice little gold one which I will probably use. The instructions I have written out, so if anybody really wants to try these, they're not quite sure how to get hold of this, you can of course buy a kit from me, which is at www.ubrink studio.co.uk. Yes, so as you can see, I have got my squares all cut and laid out ready for us to use. You need to have 3 different colours of fabric. These are 100% cotton and they're Christmas fabrics, of course. So to do the top square, which is this square here, or a star as it looks like, you need to have 4 of these, and of course for the bottom you need to have the same. So that's 4 of each of these. Then for the second row, which again is top and bottom, you'll need 8, so that's 16. So we've got 8 there, and we've got 16 here, and again 16 here for the next row. So you need to keep going with those. The most important thing is working out where you're going to start on your bauble, and I have worked out the best way for me is to follow the seam where they have slipped the 2 together, which is much more helpful than trying to work it out for yourself. So hopefully we can follow this as our main seam around. A tip that I can give you is, if you really want to get it perfect, use a Sharpie to draw around here, then measure it and come round this way as well, and you'll be able to get your lines all in the correct places. The first thing that you would need to do, just move that out of the way, is take one of your squares, fold it in half, just press it with your fingers, then fold it in half again and press it with your fingers. The point of this is we are looking for the centre. Get your pin, open up your square. You can see where the centre of the square is, and what we're going to do is push the pin from the wrong side to the right side of the fabric. I'm trying to see where the camera is here. Okay, keeping it folded, dip the pin into the glue. You only need a tiny amount, and this is going to be your first square. So stick it in gently. Now you may get a sore thumb doing this, so one of the things that I recommend you do is get yourself a thimble of some description. Okay, now once your fabric is on here folded, from the pin fold that corner down. So bring this top corner, the pin is here, fold this in a straight line down. This is coming along this seam on here. Get yourself another pin, dip it into the glue and push it in. Okay, so that will hold that corner down. See that? Then get another pin, dip it into the glue and pin that corner down also. So that is now stuck down. Get that out of the way. Okay, we're now going to bring this corner down in a straight line to meet the other corner. So our fold is a triangle. And we're going to pin the next corner as well. And this is what you have. I can work out where the blooming camera is. Do you see? Now we're going to do the opposite from this top bit here. So using another one of our red squares, we're going to fold it in half. Of course, you can pre-fold all of these if you want to, but I like to do it as I go because it gives my fingers a bit of a rest where they're so painful with pushing pins in. You can get silicone and leather thimbles to protect your fingers, and after you've made a few of these, it doesn't hurt quite as much. So we're just going to do exactly the same thing, but this time we're working from here. So right opposite, you see, we're going to put that pin in. Like so. So now we have a long piece and a triangle, and we're going to make the same triangle coming down the seam of our bauble. So we're folding and we're pinning. And this pin doesn't want to go in. So I will get my thimble to push it down. Somebody needs to invent a little tool for doing this. Okay, so now we're going to pin this corner. Some fabrics, of course, are easier to get the pins through than others. Got that one in. Okay, so that's what we have now. And now we're going to bring this corner over and down to meet the other corner to make another triangle. I keep going to get some pins out of the box even though I've actually tipped some out in readiness. And then pin the other corner. So now you have this. So the next two that we're going to do are these two. And with making these baubles, to help you to get the lines in the right places, I recommend you always work opposite each other, even when we go to do the next rows. So again, we're going to fold our fabric into 4, and we're going to finger press it. Open it out, pop the pin in, pop the pin in the glue, and we're going in opposites into the space. Bring your triangle down, or making a triangle, so we're bringing the corners down to the bottom. Finding we've got a pin that doesn't want to go in, which is very annoying to say the least, except it will. I often wonder whether one of those little toffee hammers would work with these. Though knowing me, I'd still end up with very bruised fingers. So just pin that one in as well. And then we're going to bring this corner down to the bottom too to make the next one. Okay. Don't forget to dip your glue onto the ends, and there we have that one. So now we're going to do the last one on that top piece. Fold as you go, if you haven't pre-folded them. Oh. Pop the pin in. When my son watches this, he'll probably say to me, you need some plinky music in the background. But if I'm talking to you, I think that might be a bit rude, but we'll see. So fold that down again. And the corners, just pop that pin in there. Fold this one round too. Now, if you find, like I have just done here, that there is a gap here, that's because this top pin, can you see that gap? The top pin is not in the correct place. Therefore, I'm going to move it before the glue dries. Into the space where it needs to be. And when I bring this one over now, as you can see, it's fine. These make lovely gifts for people. And it's something that they can put on their tree and keep forever. Okay, so there we have it. That's our top square. Now you need to do the same for the bottom, which is why it's important to follow this seam round, because you need to try and find the base. Okay, and I tend to pop a pin in where I hope I need to be. I think that's about right. And then you'll start on your next set of squares and do the same at the bottom here. Okay. Now, so this video doesn't go on forever, I'm just going to show you how to do this top one, and then I'll show you how to finish off the other one. So the next layer, you do exactly the same. You fold your fabrics. You find your middle point and stick a pin in. Dip it in the glue. Just going to take that out because it'll be in the way. Now, where you have, which way is the camera? Oh, there it is. So where you have your fold here, we're going to come a little way down from this top point. And I do it by measuring with a finger. So get this right in a minute. So my finger from the center to there is the width I'm going by. Whatever width you decide is the width that you have to keep to all the way through this. So push that down, fold it down. We're still following down the seam here of this bauble. Again, you're pinning each of the corners into place. Turn it down, bring corner to the center, pin it into place, pin that corner into place. Okay, so that's the next layer, and now we're going to come opposite, because we always work opposites. Fold our squares, pop the pin in, we're going to come opposite, bring the corners down to the center and pin. Include, ow, 2 pins there for some reason. I don't advise that, that hurts. And bring this top corner down as well. And that one. Okay, so we now have those, and we're now working on these two. And you might be thinking, well, what about the others? But we'll get to those in just a moment. And this time I need to only pick 1 pin up. So that was rather painful. Okay. So measure that to there. Bring that down. Dip the pin in the glue and glue. A point of importance here is PVA glue doesn't stick that well to polystyrene, and also I have been told, but I don't know how true this is, some PVAs react with the styrofoam or the polystyrene, whichever you're using, so it's not a good idea. Some of them don't stick, so PVA is not recommended. This glue that I've got in here is I think it's a decoupage glue actually. It was only one that I've quickly put in here just to show you how to do these. There is a glue I can recommend, but I'd rather not, because they won't give me any money for recommending it. However, any glue that would work on your styrofoam. I'm sure most of you have got fabric glues. Okay, so we're almost there with this now. And then I can show you the next bit. And then we'll move on to one that's almost finished, so that I can show you the finishing. Because if we did this, the whole video would take about 3/4 of an hour, and I'm sure you'll get pretty bored, especially with me droning on. So you should have that. Okay. So now we're going to fill these in, and these we're going to do exactly the same thing, but we're going to come just below these points, and that's how you get your star shape to continue. So everything that we do is always a folded square. These squares of fabric are 2 inches. for this particular sized ball. If you wanted to have the kits, you will find them on my website. Maybe not right now because I really haven't put them on there yet. They will be on from tomorrow, which is the end of November. I'm just going to come a little bit below there. Oh, that won't go in. That's it. Okay, so I've come in just a little bit below these other 2 points, and you see the line that we have here of the fold. We're following that line when we fold this one. Okay, so the line continues. There we go, get that one in. They do make nice gifts for people. There's no glitter or sparkly bits involved, unless of course you use any fabrics that have got that on. But they are very nice gifts. So there you see that. That's what we're looking for. And again, we're going to come opposite. So from that one we've just done, we're now going to come over here. It's folded, pinned, dip into the glue, come just below, fold it down to keep those lines even. Okay, pop your pins in. In case you're wondering, as I'm sure somebody is, you will use approximately 200 pins for this, depending on how many pins you're going to put in your piece of ribbon at the end. And that's why you get sore fingers. Okay. So you will end up with this now, because we're going to do the third layer. So this was our initial layer here. This is the layer I've just shown you, and then the third layer is this one. And this layer, you do exactly the same thing. You just keep following that line down. Fold your fabric to find the center. Pop your pin in. Okay, and come put that finger width down again. Bring that line. I'm still following this line that's on my styrene ball, where they've stuck the two halves together to make it into a ball. Okay. Some of these fabrics are much harder than others to push through. Don't know why. It's all cotton. but it is. I think some of it's got more size and thickness on it than others. Okay, so you see there's the 3 layers that are appearing. Now this ball here, as you can see, I haven't quite finished it, so I'm just going to finish this last layer, which I have just shown you on here, which is layer number 3, so that would be the green one. Move it back a bit so you can see. Okay. Pop that in there. Right opposite the one I've just done. Yeah. Bring that down. Pins in. Bring that down. Pins in. Thought for a minute I was going to push that in the wrong way. Pins in. By having your fabric cut, in the kits they're pre-cut for you. They're not cut neatly because they're done on the scan and cut, so please don't expect them all to be pristine because it all depends on the fabric. And the scan and cut cuts them perfect squares, but sometimes the fabric is a little bit too thick and it gets a bit tatty on the edges, but that's fine. Where have we just been? That end. So here. It's the same thing all the way around. We're just folding the corners to the centres to make the triangles. And like I say, they make very nice gifts for people. Now you will know if you've made an error when you get to this stage near the end, because what you should see is these lines are lining up. So we've kept this line going all the way from here, all the way round. This is a perfect project for using up scraps, if you wanted to. That one out. Bring that down. And into there. We're nearly at the end. And this last one is coming in here. And that is the folded part done. When you've done this bit, although I have done it beforehand to show you, but when you've done this bit, just pop your little hanger in. So that's this piece here, and all you do is you pinch these two pieces together, hold it, dip it in the glue and stick it in, and that's all you have to do. Okay, so now what we have is a bauble with this seam here that's quite tatty, that now needs to be made nice, and that's where your ribbon comes in. So the idea of this is that you are going to hide all of your pins and other bits and pieces. So this is the right side of the ribbon. Put it on the wrong way first. Take 2 pins, dip in the glue and pin either side of your ribbon. Okay, so there's a pin there, and now we're going to put another one in this other side to just hold that into place. Okay, then bring this ribbon back to the right way, and as you go, making sure that you're covering all the pins and any pieces of edgings and things like that. And with this one, I quite like it because we've got these little stars. We can put the pins in where the stars are. Every so often, bringing it right round. Okay. Bringing the pins along here. And you can put as many or as few pins in as you want, because at the end of the day it's your decoration. When you get back to this end, cut it over there and fold it back so that you have a neat finish. And it's at this point, if you wanted to, you can put a bow or whatever, and there it is, the finished bauble. I hope that's inspired you to make some of these, and I hope you like them. Thank you for watching.